On this hunt, we're going to be heading into the interior BC to go hunting with our friend Al Homer, also known as BC Extreme Outdoorsman. Rifle I'm going to be using is a 45 cal smokeless muzzle loader, and it's sitting in an MDT HNT. We actually only have 2 days for this hunt, but Al assures us that we're going to be able to see a ton of bears.
The best way to hunt bears in this area is to drive around lots and glass. When you find the bears, make sure the wind's correct, and then plant a stalk, and then you start hiking. The countryside is very green and lush, which is what they want right now. They're still kind of lean probably from the winter and still trying to fatten up. Right now is beginning of June, so the females will be coming into rut. We'll make the boars start chasing them, and they'll be out in the open more. And the big guys will be moving, and that's what we want. We want a big guy. But it's important to take the mature boars out too, because they'll kill the cubs and want to put that sow back into heat so he can breed her again.
Yeah, and they've been pretty hard in this area. There's a lot of bear population. It's been pretty hard on the moose and deer.
Very hard on them, yes.
Anyhow, let's get going.
Okay.
We gotta cover some land here today, and we'll rock and roll.
You betcha.
After we got into the area we wanted to be hunting in, we almost immediately saw our first bear.
What we could do, we can get down kind of above him. I could blow that call. The wind's coming from him to us. We don't have to worry about wind. Yeah.
Get over this ridge here.
Wherever we can see down there, good. And then we'll put a scope on him and get a good view of him.
Yeah, I got you.
Make sure that he's a good one.
Let me get the pack.
We have a bear.
We decided we're gonna go put a stalk on this bear, try and get a little closer and see just how big it was.
What if we dropped over the back edge? We'll set up and try that call.
So from our vantage point on where we first saw the bear, we figured that if we went down about 300 yards, we could close about half the distance. But we weren't sure if we were going to be able to see the bear from that location. So when we got down there, we decided that Al was going to go climb up on top of the ridge, and I was going to get down a little lower in the ditch bank so that he could do a little bit of calling with a distress call.
Small, so we decided to let this one pass. There's quite a few bears up here, so we're gonna go and look for another one and keep on going here.
With this being a newer area that Al had been hunting in and myself as well, we needed to do some more exploring to see exactly where everything was, kind of how everything was laid out. So we spent quite a bit of time driving from cut block to cut block, trying to identify where was going to be good areas to set up and hunt. So we just came down this big hill here, big mountain here, and we found this little landing that we can actually glass up top here, and if we do see a bear, we can kind of gain some ground on it in the truck, and then do a quick stalk in, and hopefully knock a nice bear down. And then if we look across the river, where we've been looking at all day, we're nice and close to it as well, so we actually can get good sight on it. And if we do see a bear over there, we're figure about 10 kilometers to the bridge, go across the bridge and back down here 10 kilometers. So if we see a bear over there, we feel pretty confident that we could get a stalk on it even tonight. When you're looking across these big cuts, these big black stumps stand out. They look like bears. So I always would try to identify where those are and make sure that I knew that they were there. And so I didn't pay attention to them every time or get excited about them every time. But when I did see something move in that area, again, I'd come back to it. Or if I thought I saw something move, I'd make sure I came back. Yeah, the middle clearing. Okay, come into the middle clearing. Come up go to the very tip.
The very top?
Yeah, the very top. Now come down, and you see those two birch trees? They're kind of on an angle from each other. It's down below that, between the two of them.
Oh yeah, I see him. Yeah.
You got them?
I do.
I couldn't really tell how big they were with the binos, so I threw the spotting scope on, and definitely was on the small side. Had a thinner body, didn't have much of a belly, long legs. You can't really tell how big the head was, but it was definitely on the smaller side.
So we're going to venture over across the river into those clear cuts over there. We've got about 3.5 hours of light left, 3 hours.
Yeah.
So that's a wise decision. The other side of that knob there might have a logging on the other side of it too, and it could be logged all the way around that whole thing. It almost looked like it on base maps.
Yeah, so I think we got a pretty good chance over there. It's being a south-facing hill, so
Very green.
yeah, we've got one bear we've seen already over there. So we figure if we don't get moving now, we aren't going to be able to commit to a bear. So
Yeah.
figure we'll utilize this time to maybe have a better choice for tomorrow.
And the loggers are gone now too, so you might even see one on the main road.
Yeah, exactly. So cool. Let's rock and roll.
Let's go. Yeah. That is that stump. Even in my binoculars, that looks like a bear. Put on your binoculars.
It looks like a bear head.
It does.
That stump looks, that head
That's crazy.
is burnt.
It's crazy, yeah.
It looks exactly like a bear head.
Even in the binoculars.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we just came around a corner there and had just a young yearling or something bear hanging out on the side of the road there. So he just jumped over the edge and went down that hill. Definitely a good day. So just gotta see a bigger one.
Yep.
Okay, so we're just heading out. Just getting towards dark here now. It started raining, I don't know, an hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago. It started really raining about an hour ago. Tomorrow, kind of got a game plan together where we're gonna go take a look a little on the east side of the river. Sorry, on the north side of the river, and check that out, and hopefully grab a bear over there tomorrow. So should be good. We'll be out here nice and early, and should be a good time.
I'm going to show you something here, a little joy of bear hunting in the spring and also moose hunting in the fall. Can you see my eye? I got bit right here by this little red bug that I'm going to try to find today and take a picture of. But my whole eye is swollen. That's how I woke up this morning. I took 2 Benadryl last night before bed and 2 this morning and 2 Tylenols as well, and it's still driving me nuts. It's not itchy, it just burns real bad. It's hot to the touch, so I've been putting ice on it as well. So when you're allergic to bugs and you love the outdoors, you just deal with it.
So we're on the last day of the bear hunt and feeling pretty confident because we did see quite a few bears yesterday. Not a lot of bigger bears, but we definitely know that there's some in the area. We got a pretty solid plan today. We kind of identified some better looking areas for where we think there's gonna be some bears at. And we're gonna try and get into those spots and see if we can glass something and find something.
See where it goes up to there.
So that's the first mom and baby we've seen, cub we've seen, so out of all the bears we've seen, so, but that's good. Okay, cool. We have seen some bear sign up here. Now we're just on the other side of the river, so we're gonna keep on cruising this way, see if we can see something else.
It's a sure a small mother, eh?
Yeah, she's pretty young.
And it was pretty cool to see them. The mom didn't really seem to care much, just was hanging out, looking at us, same with the baby. And we got some good pictures of it and then kept on going, so we didn't bother him anymore. Okay, so we just came to a dead end here. It looks like it's kind of decommissioned. Maybe a little bit of a rock slide down here a little further, I don't know, 100 yards past us. And it looks like it opens up, so we're up here, so we figured we might as well go for a little bit of a walk, see if we can see anything. Hopefully we see something and get on it, so cool.
There's a tan bear behind it. Yeah. You see there, Red? There's bear 3 and 4 for the day. We are down below a big cut, and we just coming to the end of it here. And we saw, actually, the camera guy again, Red, saw it again. A nice mama bear baby there, and that baby actually was a tan color, so real pretty bear. About halfway up the hill here, so we just watched it go off into the bush there nice and easy, so it obviously winded us. But there's been a ton of bear sign along this road, but real pretty bear, especially the tan cub, both looking really nice and healthy.
So we made our way up the switchback to the very top, nice and slow, just working our way up there because at that point the wind was in our favor. Definitely worth the walk up. Just a ton of bear scat, ton of bear sign.
So we just came up this cut here that was a road closure, and we seen the most bear sign we'd seen in the last 2 days. Went to the very top of it, ended up finding a great view with no bears. So we've come down a little ways so we can overlook a nice green valley, and down below us here that's full of grass that we're feeling pretty confident the bears will be hanging out in. I won't be surprised if we actually stay here till dark, because it's a really, really nice spot here. And there's been just a ton of bear sign. So we got reasonable distances to shoot too. Everything's kind of within like 400 yards. So we're pretty confident we can see something. And if we need to, we can cut a little bit of ground.
So it started to get a little later in the evening. We weren't sure if we were going to be able to see anything. And then all of a sudden, Al turned around and noticed a bit of movement above us. We got on the glass and ended up seeing there was a nice color-phased bear that came in at about 400 or 500 yards from an area we didn't expect to see a bear coming.
Wait, there he is.
Once I got set up on the gun on the tripod, I realized I really should have ordered the forend with an ARCA rail. But running the hog saddle, I was still able to get pretty steady. That all being said, my adrenaline was pumping.
He goes sideways and taking the shot.
Call that again. They get him?
I don't think you hit him. If you would have hit him with that thing, for one, he wouldn't have ran uphill like that. He would have boogied downhill.
Okay.
And it didn't. When I seen him running through the timber, he was still running pretty good. But we know what stump. So.
Do you want to review it?
Yeah. Oh, right now, yeah, for sure. Here?
Yeah, I can see.
Because I can turn the.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, I missed him.
Off the left side.
Off the left side.
If you would have hit him with that thing,
It would have knocked it. It would have knocked him over.
Would have knocked him right down to.
Yeah.
Back it right down to nothing.
Well,
On that note, I don't. You think we got to go up there?
no, because we could see the splash. You could see exactly where it hit.
Yeah.
If it was like, oh, I don't know if it hit.
Well, if you
obviously-
hit him with a 300 grain bullet,
It would knock him down.
yeah, and you could see the splash in front of him.
You could see it. You could see it clear as day in front of him where it landed at. Those
Damn,
things lay a nice splash
I
down.
wanted to shoot that thing so bad. I was
The
shooting-
elevation
I
was good.
I got dry mouth. I got.
The elevation was good
So
on
why
it.
was it left?
I think I shanked it
Oh, did you?
because it was. I was.
It's not easy to shoot a heavy caliber rifle, recoiling rifle off a tripod.
Well, and You
You should have went off the rock again.
I couldn't see him at first. Is the
Well,
issue? It was. I was
yeah.
all through all the bush there, and I didn't want to hit a tree. And then he came down far enough, and I was already committed on it, and I was concerned too. He was moving right along. I thought he might have winded us.
That's why I blew this thing. I thought it looks like he was going to do what those other bears did and
Yeah.
work his way out of here.
That's what I kind of felt like too. That he was gonna.
But stopping him was a good call.
Yeah.
And that gave you the nice broadside shot.
Okay. Well, it was a valiant effort.
It was, yeah. Hey,
That was
we're still
fun.
not done.
I know we're not. That was a lot of fun though.
Yeah.
Everything seemed to calm back down, and we were super excited to see if anything else would come back out, but unfortunately it didn't, and ended up packing it up. I was extremely excited to get out hunting with Al this spring, as we'd been talking about it for a couple of years actually. And we did see a pile of bears. We ended up seeing 9 bears over 2 days, which is amazing for the area that we covered. And I wish we could have harvested a beautiful bear up there, but we still had a great time. We understand that whole area better now.
we know we have a better plan for next year when we want to go back in there bear hunting, and we'll make sure we get one next year.